There's been an ongoing blackout that recently started between YouTube TV and Disney. If you're one of the roughly 10 million YouTube TV subscribers, you've probably noticed that ESPN, ABC, and a bunch of other Disney-owned channels just disappeared. And in terms of the timing, it couldn't be worse. Right in the middle of peak sports season, let's break down what's actually happening here, who's to blame, and why this whole situation is a perfect example of how these corporate disputes hurt regular people the most. So here's the situation. YouTube TV and Disney failed to reach an agreement on their distribution contract, and now all Disney-owned channels are blacked out on the platform. We're talking ESPN, ABC, SEC Network, ACC Network, FX, National Geographic, Disney Channel, their whole lineup. At the core of this is money. Disney wants higher carriage fees for their channels, arguing their content, especially live sports, commands premium pricing. On the other side, YouTube TV, owned by Google, says Disney demands are unreasonable and would force them to raise prices for subscribers. Disney, however, fired back, saying through an ESPN spokesman that Google is using its market dominance to eliminate competition and refusing to pay fair market rates. So basically, both sides are pointing fingers, and meanwhile, subscribers are stuck in the middle without access to the content they're paying for. Let's talk about who's really getting hurt here, the viewers. This blackout hit during one of the busiest times in sports. We're talking Monday Night Football, major college football games, and other live sports that people specifically subscribe to YouTube TV to watch. Sure, you can still get ABC with an over-the-air antenna in some areas, but ESPN and those sports networks are only available through paid TV or streaming services. YouTube has offered $20 credits if the blackout continues, but that doesn't help if all you want is to watch those games on Saturday. And here's the thing. The timing also coincided with major political coverage on ABC News, affecting more than just sports fans. This is a pattern we've seen before with these carriage disputes, but it never seems to get any less frustrating for the consumers. This dispute is really a symptom of a much larger shift happening in the media industry. Traditional cable is dying, streaming is taking over, and content providers like Disney are trying to go direct to consumer with their own services. At the same time, platforms like YouTube TV are trying to stay competitive without passing massive cost increases to subscribers. From Disney's perspective, they're losing about $5 million per day for each day their network stays off YouTube TV. That's significant short-term revenue loss, but there's also the long-term calculation if they end up caving in pricing. It sets a precedent for future negotiations with other providers. YouTube TV, meanwhile, wants to avoid becoming just another expensive cable replacement. They're trying to maintain competitive pricing while platforms fragment sports content across multiple services. And when you're looking ahead, this is only going to become much more common. As streaming services multiply and content becomes even more fragmented, we're going to see more of these disputes, more blackouts, and more services you need to subscribe to just to watch what you want to see. ESPN personalities like Stephen Smith and Scott Van Pelt tried rallying support for Disney's position on social media, but based on the public reaction, it seems to have backfired. Sports fans aren't interested in taking sides between a tech giant and an entertainment conglomerate. They just want to watch the game. Industry analysts are already calling this as a preview of future rights negotiations as digital platforms continue disrupting traditional broadcasting. They're basically saying to expect a lot more of these fights, not fewer. As of now, the dispute is ongoing with no clear resolution in sight. About 10 million subscribers are still without Disney channels, and based on the reports, the two sides remain far apart in negotiations. For affected subscribers, your options are limited. Switch to another provider that still carries Disney channels, use an over-the-air antenna for ABC, sign up for Disney streaming services, or wait it out with that $20 credit. None of these being great solutions. The bottom line is these carriage disputes are becoming more frequent in the streaming age, and they'll continue to disrupt your viewing experience. The media landscape is changing fast, and unfortunately consumers are often the ones caught in the crossfire while corporations fight for distribution fees and market power. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and remember to subscribe. I read every comment.